Hello friends, welcome to all, I hope you are well. Today, I'm going to show you a 3-minute buy and sell scalping strategy, guys. We will get support from 2 indicators, but first, before moving on to the training video, my Telegram address is available in the explanation section of the video. If there is a place in your mind in the training video I described, you can come there and ask me a question. Friends, nothing in this training video that I tell you is an investment advice. It is a training video for you to create a strategy for yourself and develop a tactic suitable for you. Without wasting time, we are opening up the indicator we call TMA bands, which is our first indicator from the indicators section, friends. As you can see here, we open the indicator of the person there, and secondly, we open the LSMA indicator, which means the moving averages that we use constantly in scalping transactions. When we write it as LSMA, it appears as the least squares moving average in the directly embedded section. I open an LSMA and I will change the input settings here. Of course I won't change the input settings of the TMA, but you can only reduce the setting from 75 here, as it will change from graph to graph. So when you decrease the value, the channels here get a little wider, for your information, but I will not change that either. But you can change it on a different chart if it does look good for you, that is, if the channels of TMA here do not look good for you. But we will change the SMA entries. We set the length to 21 and choose the low option, not the close, as the source. Let's thicken it a little bit like this. Let's make it a different color. This is how we open it up, friends. Now why did we open TMA and LSMA here? I will try to explain their reasons to you. As you know, when these rise above the moving average, we predict that prices will rise. But since this is a scalping transaction, we do not have a chance to wait here. We cannot trade here in the very long term. That's why I opened the TMA bands. You can think of TMA bands as a Bollinger Band, but they are wider than Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands will stay smaller in 3-minute period. Friends, here we can think of TMA bands as Bollinger Bands, and for this I opened up TMA bands. For example, we can also use the lines of the TMA here as a support and resistance when the price rises above the moving average. So, friends, I opened it up so that we can predict where to sell and where to buy. All that will help us, now when we look a little bit. As you can see, when the candle goes above the moving averages, we see that the price go up. Likewise, here again, friends, for example, there is an example here. The price has sagged below the moving average and it touched the middle band. If this candle closes above or below the middle band, we can predict the direction on the chart in this way, friends. For example, here is the price chart, and a green candle is lit again. The price has fallen below the moving average again, but the only difference here is that the price graph is above the moving average. Let's foresee that too. Now when we go back a little bit, it's in a 3-minute period. What we call Bollinger Bands, as you can see here. After touching the bottom band and closing the green candle, it was generating a buy signal for us. You can also think of the TMA in this way. As you can see, the candles are hanging down and the price is not closing above the moving average anyway. It constantly hangs down and lights a green candle behind it. After the 2 green candles, price enters the moving average, friends, and after a close in the moving average, it automatically creates a buy condition for us here. And as you can see here, if we want, we can put our first target, that is, our first TP, that is, our profit zone, in the middle band here. Or we follow the middle band. After breaking the middle band momentarily, we put our stop in the middle band so that our profits stay in our pockets and we watch the price wherever it goes up. When we look at it, we can see that the prices are constantly increasing when it goes above the moving average, as you can see, friends. Likewise, here the price goes above the moving average and we see that the prices are rising. But there is no point in waiting for too long here. There is no point in waiting for too long on the graph. In the slightest profit, I say take your profit and leave with a profit of 0.5% or 0.2%. Because friends, this is a 3-minute period as you can see. When we look at it, we see that the prices here have increased in the same way, friends. For example, in the following situations, friends, we cannot do anything. The market is moving horizontally here and falling below the moving average. Whatever indicator you use here, it will most likely produce a false signal. Anyway, the indicators cannot show us a buy and sell condition very clearly in the horizontal market, and they go crazy when they show a buy and sell condition. But after making a purchase here, if we follow it with a stop loss above the moving average, we can see that the price has already risen again. As I said, a regular decrease, that is, a horizontal decrease without volume, is as follows. In horizontal positions without volume, all indicators give an error. There is no indicator that does not give us an error. But as I always tell you, after making a purchase in these regions, if you put a stop or a sell in the nearest TMA band, you will get out of there. Or you can trade with small profits. For example, let's calculate the profit here. That candle closed and you entered a trade at the close of this candle. It's doing 1% so far, but my advice is don't wait until here, guys, get out of the trade here. Because there is no point in waiting too long. In other words, the first candle is closing. After the first candle, in the middle of the second candle within 3 to 4 minutes on average, you can exit the trade here. Because as you can see, opportunities come a lot, they offer us an extreme opportunity, friends. So you don't have to rush. We will set an alarm for LSMA while we set an alarm for possibilities. We will click on Add an alarm on LSMA here. Our condition is not LSMA intersection. We will choose upward intersection, friends. We click on the up cross option and here I am giving an example for TMA bands. If we want a bottom cross we will select the lower band of the TMA, so like this. We will choose the lower band, equalize LSMA to the lower band, and those that cross the lower band up will create a buy condition for us guys. If we are going to build directly on the chart, that is, we will build on the chart of CHZ, and we want an alarm to sound for us every time the candlestick intersects with the LSMA. We will choose our condition here as CHZ, that is, whichever period, which graph is open, and we will say that it crosses upwards. What will it cross up with? This time when we set the LSMA to for each candle close, friends, it will give us a signal every time it crosses. When we set it as each candle close, friends, we made a candle close over there. After the candle closes, if you set it up in this way, a signal will sound, friends, an alarm will sound. In the same way, the price closes above the average here, and a signal will sound again, friends. If you do it this way, an alarm will sound for you as soon as this candle is opened. But as I said, if you set the alarm on LSMA, this time friends, when you set the alarm on LSMA, you will choose TMA band. And the upper middle lower 3 band names of the TMA band, you fix LSMA to any band. And when the candles there rise above the TMA band, the alarm will sound. But as I said, my advice, it would be better if an alarm sounds for you when every candle crosses the LSMA to the upside. What if an alarm goes off for you when it crosses up there? You already see where this candle close is. And you give your own consent whether to enter the transaction or not. For example, there was a candle closing here and the alarm sounded. You can enter a transaction here, friends. When we go back a little more, as you can see, we can see that there is a price increase when the prices are above the continuous moving average. Let me give you a tip, guys. You can take your profit on this candle with this width when the price suddenly crosses upwards with the movements and the LSMA area clearly moves away from the candles. As you can see in this candle, when you see that it expands, we can predict that the price will rise and the price will rise excessively. In fact, let me show you the closest example of this here, just like here. After the third candle, the SMA opens further back and follows the price from afar and expands, friends. And here we can predict that the price will rise even higher. I wanted to tell you these, and as I said again, we need to check the TMA as a support and resistance, that is, where the price is on the TMA when it breaks the LSMA. For example, I give an example. Here the price jumps over the LSMA and moves in the middle band of the TMA, as you can see. It does not stop, it continues in the same way. There is a price increase. Here again, this time the price is closing above the SMA and we can set the middle band of the TMA here as the take profit zone. So here, after a breakdown, that is, after the candle closes above the band, friends, we can put a sell order in the middle band and expect the order to sell from there. I wanted to tell you that. Friends, that's all I'm going to tell you about this video. I hope you liked the video. Take care of yourself, goodbye, good luck, and see you soon.